If you're selling your home in the greater Houston area, we're going to talk about today is everything you need to know about HOAs and the sale of your property. Have you ever wondered why the greater Houston area has so many homeowners associations, otherwise known as HOAs, in this area? It's not like most of the rest of the United States, where maybe you don't have HOAs and you look for houses that don't have HOAs. Here, we developed a little bit differently. One, there's not very many zoning laws here, so it could be that somebody comes in and builds some sort of commercial property right next to your residential house, and that could really deteriorate the value of that home. And HOAs, of course, help rectify that. Another factor is the way that Houston was developed. A lot of developers came in and developed out larger areas of land, which even today in Katy and Cypress and these other areas, we're still seeing developers buy large lots of land and plan it out. You have a planned community, you have amenities like pools and walkways and parks and all sorts of stuff, which are great, they're beneficial, but then they also want to hold standards to those communities so that somebody else doesn't come in and buy a lot later and build whatever they want in that area. It gives that community a specific feel that they're going for and helps maintain the standards of such. So HOAs really became a part of the culture here in the greater Houston area. Nobody likes paying the HOA fee, sure, but at the end of the day, it's a key part in maintaining standards here in this area. So if you're getting ready to sell your house, or maybe you're already under contract to sell your house, here's a few things to keep in mind to get your deal across the table. Number one, if you've been receiving any nice little letters from your HOA saying, hey, you gotta take care of this or take care of that, make sure you get on it, rectify those, because it could stop you from selling your property if it's not addressed. Or you might end up paying some fees that go along with that. Now let's put on the hat of a seller transaction here and keep in mind something, that when a buyer's coming to you in this transaction, they're not only buying your home, but they're also agreeing to abide by the standards that the HOA brings to that community. So for example, if a buyer plans to buy the house and then later build an outdoor living in the backyard, they need to know if the HOA is going to permit them to do it. How tall can that structure be? Does it meet their vision? Maybe the materials that are allowed or permitted to be used in that HOA. All of those things are outlined in the HOA documents in a transaction. And so these documents are ordered after the contract is signed and executed, and the buyer's given time to review those documents. So you're selling in your home in Houston and you need to get these HOA documents, but who's gonna pay for these documents? Is it gonna be the buyer? Is it gonna be the seller? Well, typically the seller will pay for the HOA documents in most of the transactions that we see here in Houston. Those payments for those documents may be requested actually before the actual sale of the property to get that ball rolling so that they can review them and then ultimately close and purchase that transaction. So what does it cost to ultimately sell your property? And especially from the HOA perspective, what are the costs that the seller might face? And the answer really is, it depends. It depends a lot on the community. We've seen communities where they charge, for example, 0.5% or 1% of the sale value in that cost, and those are all terms and conditions that were signed when they bought that property in the HOA agreements. And we've seen some that are maybe just a few $100s, right? It really varies a lot to the community that you're in and what they're gonna charge. But there's several fees, typically around transfer fees, HOA document fees that you can expect to see. And then of course you have an annual HOA fee as well. If you've paid that annual HOA fee and you're mid-year, the title company will actually prorate the amount of that annual fee at closing. So it's possible that you've paid for the whole year in advance. You might actually see a credit back on your closing statement for the amount that you've paid in advance. If for some reason you've fallen behind on your HOA fees, then you'll need to get caught up with those fees before that property closes. Here at the A-List team, we like to set clear expectations of what you can expect as a seller, both for fees before you close and of course during the closing transaction. So reach out to us if we can help you get a better estimate on what you might actually walk away with. We'll put out a little net sheet, and of course there's a lot of fees from title fees and insurance fees and HOA fees. We'll spell it out for you black and white and get you on your way. We'll see you at the closing table.